Hey folks, Alan Manick, the Hot Rod Hippie here, coming to you from southern New Hampshire in Steve Shepard's single car garage. He's got these big, beautiful machines here that he's built himself. He's got some metal shaping projects going on. Let's go ahead and check it out. This week's video is brought to you by me, Alan Manick, the Hot Rod Hippie. We launched a new merchandise store this week. We have new t-shirt design, new hoodie design, and 2 different die-cut stickers to slap onto whatever you might want to slap a Hot Rod Hippie sticker on. This is all available from our Teespring store. You can find links in the description of the video, as well as finding all the items listed right here on YouTube below all of my videos. Thanks for checking it out, folks, and let's check out this week's video.
So I started in metal shaping about 5 years ago by accident. I had a 1930 Pontiac, which they sell no patch panels for. It needed everything. So I took Ray Shalene's class. I walked away from Ray's class with a better understanding of how to move metal, and came home, built both quarter panels, fell in love with metal shaping, and then that was it for me. My interest in cars fell down, and my interest in what I can do with metal crept up. And now I'm here today with all of this equipment just based on having to fix a rusty car once. So at a certain point, I was working with a certain set of tools in my basement. I had an English wheel, I had a Harbor Freight shrinker stretcher, a Harbor Freight English wheel, just a sandbag, Harbor Freight body hammers. I had the Harbor Freight kind of starter kit, and I was able to get a lot done. I had the Harbor Freight planishing hammer as well. I just kept looking out and seeing what other people were using for tools. And I went around, flew out to California, met my buddy Matt and a few other people, and I saw what was possible with a Pullmax. And I decided I could never afford one. So I decided, I think I could maybe make one. I have a good friend, Clark, and he has a P21, and he sent me the manual, and it had an exploded diagram of the mechanicals, and he was nice enough to send me some measurements, and I reversed engineered what I could and made up what I didn't know, couldn't figure out, and came up with my machine here, and it's been working pretty good. From there, I wanted to explore power hammer because I was intrigued at how fast you could shrink. I researched, and I had a lot of help with some really good people help me out with some design ideas, and I bought a Mittler Brothers kit. I ended up using some pieces from that, made my own pieces, and drew it all up in CAD, figured it out, figured out what I could. I knew if I built a good frame, I could change what was on it, and from there, we put this together, and it's been working. So at one point I had enough money saved up, and I really wanted a Pullmax, a power hammer, and I had just taken a new job at work where I was exposed to CNC milling. Very quickly after that, I decided that it would probably be best for me to buy a CNC milling machine. So I went down to Rice Machinery in Rhode Island, and they built me a rebuilt Bridgeport, and they retrofit it with a full 3-axis CNC control. From there, I had the ability to make the other equipment. And then from there, it just took over. I've been obsessed with machining ever since, trying to learn what I could. The machine has been the cornerstone of my shop. I've been making all my dies, been making my equipment in pieces and parts that I need for cars along the way with it. So it's just been great. I don't know. I'm just a guy that works full time, and this is what I do in my off hours. So this is a hobby for me. And I don't really make money on it. I take an occasional customer job here or there, but I try to let my hobby fund itself. So I don't take my money typically from my job to fund this. But sometimes I get a bit obsessive and buy things. Yeah, so I was shopping for a vintage camper with my girlfriend, and we were just kind of looking, and everything that we could find needed a full restoration or needed, it smelled like mold. It had 30 plus years of water damage. So if something's gonna need a full restoration, it's probably easier to start from scratch. So I couldn't afford one of the really, really nice ones. So we just went for it. Ray Shalem was nice enough to let me use his shop for a week, and we roughed out the aluminum skeleton there and towed it home, and me and her, we bucked over 3,000 rivets and put it together, and we've been enjoying it ever since. So, yeah, I just want to put across that you don't need all this fancy stuff to get the job done. You know, you can do it yourself with hammer and dollies and a sandbag and a stump and maybe a cheap English wheel. That's all you really need. I have this stuff just because I like building equipment, and I kind of spun and created a passion designing and building my own equipment, and I really like, to me, building equipment is probably the most fun thing, and that's why I have all this stuff. You don't need it.
Thank you so much to Steve for having us here today, for telling us a little bit of his story and his message there at the end, letting you know that you don't need this stuff. These big, beautiful machines, they get my gears going. I love this stuff, but at the end of the day, you can work with a sandbag, you can work with the stump and the body hammers. There's a lot you can do with just your hands. This stuff is definitely cool though. Go ahead and drop the video a like if you found it interesting. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of this equipment? What do you think of this shop? I think this is a really interesting thing. This really gets my gears going. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Check out patreon.com/hotrodhippie. That really directly supports this channel so I can bring you the best content that I can. And subscribe to keep up to date with all the content every week. Thanks for coming around, folks.